Hey guys, happy Mother's Day! In today's episode, me and Keisha will be discussing motherhood and mental health. And also, since we are in the month of May, happy Mental Health Awareness Month!
If you guys are interested in hearing our personal experiences dealing with motherhood and mental health, then stay tuned.
Hey y'all, welcome to Check Your Mental with Jay, a visual podcast where I speak on the importance of mental health, whether it's my personal experience or everyday life events. If that sounds like something you're interested in, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe so you never miss when I post another video. Y'all, so today I have a special guest with me. I have my cousin Keisha.
Jay.
And today's a Mother's Day special. When you see this video, it will be Mother's Day. We are talking mental health and motherhood.
Mm-hmm.
So I know a lot of you guys can relate to this as well. Alright, so Keisha, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so what are your thoughts on mental health?
I feel like a lot of people don't really focus on mental health that much, or at least our generation when we was kids, we didn't really learn about mental health. So it's a lot of people now that's struggling with battling, depression or PTSD, schizophrenia. Like there's a lot of diseases out there when it comes to mental health. But I feel like now it's starting to come to the surface, but us growing up, we didn't really know like what mental health was and how to deal with it and stuff like that. So I feel like it's very important because now a lot of people are diagnosing things of that nature, everything. So
Okay.
yeah, I feel like it's a big subject, a big topic.
It is.
Now.
It is. And what I like that you did is you mentioned schizophrenia and other illnesses, because everybody just focuses on the main two, which is depression and anxiety. But there's a lot of other illnesses that come with mental health. So I like that you said that.
Yes,
that was cool. Okay, so what is the mental health illnesses that you suffered from?
PTSD and anxiety and depression. So with my PTSD, I didn't know I had PTSD until I checked in and tried to get like a therapy. When you go and get a psychologist, you have to do intake, and they ask you a whole bunch of questions. And basically, what they were asking me, stuff that triggered me, was from my past. So I'm like traumatized from a lot of things that I dealt with. Post-traumatic stress disorder. So I was really stressed out about a lot of stuff. But besides that, I have anxiety still to this day. And depression was one of the severe diagnoses that I had, especially after having my son, my being a first-time mom. So.
Were you ever medicated?
For postpartum, no. After I had Princeton. So this was when I went to get intake. So I started taking Prozac and hydroxyzine, which is a anxiety medication. It's kind of similar to like Benadryl, so it makes you calm.
All right, so my next question is, what did your depression look like? Like when you were depressed, it was the worst day. What did that look like for you?
Everything's a mess. Like my depression would literally show itself. How my mind was, like with anxiety, my mind is always cluttered. Like I'm thinking about multiple things, so I started to become, like everything just started to become cluttered around me. I didn't have energy. Sometimes I couldn't get up unless it was time for me to feed my child. But sometimes I wouldn't be able to get myself dressed. I wouldn't be able to shower. Wouldn't be able to eat. All I would want to do is sleep throughout the whole day, just to avoid what I'm really dealing with.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Right. Yeah, that's depression for you, for real. Like, you are a mom. You're a mom of two.
Yes.
But you first started dealing with depression and anxiety from your first pregnancy. Okay. So how did it worsen after becoming a first-time mom?
Because I didn't know what to do. I didn't have no guidance. So after I had Princeton, I was like, man, I moved too fast. I rushed. Like, what am I going to do? It became worse because I was doubting myself a lot. And then I was dealing with so much on top of that. So I feel like I let myself go, and it showed. Yeah, but it wasn't easy.
Okay, and so with that, right, do you feel like being a single mom contributes more to like the downside of your mental health?
Yeah, before. But now I feel like it helped me find who I truly am, and I became content. The second time around it was much easier. The first time around I didn't know what to do. I was so codependent. I felt like I wasn't capable with being a mom by myself. I felt like I needed people all the time. So the second time around it's much easier. Like I know how to cope with a lot of things, and I notice my attitude towards myself reflects on my kids. Like my son can see when I'm upset, and he can feel it at the same time.
So what did you do to cope with your depression or your mental health illnesses? Like what helped you get through it? Did you seek professional help?
So at first, when I had postpartum depression, I don't really feel like it was postpartum depression. Let me pull back from that. Because I wasn't upset at the fact that I was a mother or I didn't want my child. I was just upset with myself and I felt like I wasn't capable, like I said. So I was just really depressed at that time. But what helped me was I got a therapist, and the therapist used to come to me. And then after that, I lost the therapist, and then I started going downhill again. So then before I got pregnant with my second child, I was dealing with a lot of things, and I felt like, you know what, I need professional help. Like, I can't just keep, sweeping it under the rug. So, but besides professional help, what helped me was my YouTube channel and just having hobbies to distract myself from what I was dealing with. So that's how I would hide from the world. I'll just do makeup, do hair, things that make me happy and make me feel beautiful because I felt disgusting inside.
And you're good at it too.
Thank you.
You're good at it, so yes.
Yeah, I felt bad. I felt disgusting inside and out. So I was like, you know what, let me make myself feel pretty. Let me make myself feel the way I want to feel. And yeah, that's how I quit.
How did you feel about therapy? Because I love therapy.
The person that I had, she was okay. The first therapist I had was amazing that came to me. But in the hospital, I feel like she wasn't really listening to me. Sometimes I felt like she was a bit judgy, judgmental. By the way, she would look at me when I would explain certain things. But they're doctors, they can't really but I could feel when somebody's genuine. I felt like my therapist wasn't that genuine. That's why I pulled away from therapy and medication and all that stuff.
See, and that's important, right? You have to find a good therapist.
Yes.
Therapy is nice, therapy is good, therapy is very helpful. However, your therapist, you need to be able to be like, all right, I could call her anytime or I could sit down and talk to her anytime. It's very important that you connect with your therapist. I'm big on that. Because I had a therapist before where I was like, yeah, she's not giving me what I'm looking for. I feel like I was talking to an aunt who was just going to tell me the same thing every day. Then I'm like, all right, eventually I had to switch my therapist until I found one that I'm like, I like her. Right. She's going to help me break it down. She's going to help me. You have to really like your therapist in order for you to feel comfortable and enjoy therapy. Right. So I think that's great that you said that
and
too.
And I agree with you on that too, because you're getting therapy for yourself, not for the therapist. They're getting paid at the end of the day.
Yes. It's not about them.
It's not about them. Make sure you get somebody that makes you feel comfortable. For me, I was just I was young too. I was like, you know what? It is what it is. Maybe this is how all therapists are. But then I just strung away from it. I just stopped going and,
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So, how does your mental health or your mental illness play a role in your social life?
It plays a big role because I have social anxiety. When it's time for me to meet new people or to chill with people that I haven't seen in years, it's like, oh my God, I changed. I'm fatter. I'm this. I'm that. I just be thinking the craziest things. So it pulls me away from socializing with certain people.
Yeah.
I have abandonment issues, I would say. So if I'm really close to somebody, I'll label them as my best friend too soon. And then when I get hurt and betrayed, it's like I'm upset at the world. I don't want to be friends with nobody no more. So the attachment issues, I feel like it comes from PTSD.
Yeah.
Me being too triggered or too afraid that, I'm going to be left in the end. So I try to hold on to people and grasp onto people that I meet, which is not good because not everybody is worth being attached to, if that makes sense. So now I'm very reserved. I like to be by myself now. I could party by myself. I could vibe by myself. It's nothing better than that.
Listen, people act like when you by yourself, oh my God, that's a sin, or oh, something's wrong with you. You don't like friends, you don't have company. I love being by myself. We gonna make some drinks, we go sit down, have a little hookah, whatever, and chill.
In the comfort of your own
I don't need a crowd. I don't need somebody else to feel like I'm having a good time.
You don't need no validation. I feel like that's a beautiful thing.
I feel.
Yeah.
I always say that once you find yourself and you can be happy within yourself and by yourself, you don't need no validation from nobody. I feel like that's what I'm at in my life. I don't need what? No. It's nice sometimes, right?
Yeah.
But I don't need the validation of, I have somebody or I gotta be with somebody or just to feel like I'm doing something or I'm having a good time.
No.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
Another thing, I never knew I could be like this until it got to this point where I had no choice but to be by myself. You know what I mean? So I came from having a group of friends. I came from a toxic relationship. And then once God slowly took those people out of my life, I noticed I'm actually I'm okay with this. I like being by myself. I feel protected. Like, I don't got to worry about people stabbing me in my back. I don't got to worry about nothing. Like, I'm cool and content by myself. Insecure, if that makes sense.
Ooh, that's kind of deep. So, question. And I'm reflecting this off of something that I deal with. But so, you okay with being alone, right? But when you do find somebody, or like a friend or a guy or whatever that you enjoy spending time with, how do you go about with that? Do you indulge in it, or you're kind of like, well, if you here, you there, you whatever?
Now it's bad. Because it's like, I be forgetting people. I be forgetting. I have a friend now. I met her at work, so we've been friends for like 1 year. Like, she's a new friend, but she always tells me, like, you don't know how to communicate. Like, if I call you, I have to make an appointment because you don't answer your phone. It's so hard to keep in touch with you. I be in my own world. Like, sometimes I forget to, like, check up on people, honestly. And it's kind of messed up because, you know, it's unintentional, but I just forget to socialize because I'm so used to just being withdrawn now.
Yeah. And that's why I wonder, too. Like, I'm like, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Right.
Yeah, it's a thin line though. It's a thin line because it's like, it's a good thing. Yes, you don't need any validation. You can enjoy your own company, your own space, your own time. But then it's like, but when there's people that want to be a part of your life or that's in your life, and then it's like, not neglect, but like you kind of don't not see the importance. But you know what I'm saying? Like you kind of don't really like,
oh, like,
what am I trying to say?
I know what you mean. Like, I'm reflecting my past issues on this new person by being so reserved. Without even knowing.
Yes.
Without even knowing. Like, I'm so pulled away and reserved because something led me to become this kind of person.
Yes.
So now these new people that I'm meeting have to deal with this kind of me. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. So, yeah.
Yeah, because that happened to me recently. This guy was telling me, he's like, you're so reserved. That was the word. You're so reserved and standoffish. And I'm like, what? Like, no. But when I think about it, I'm like, I get it. Because, like, when you with somebody that's like they're talkative and they're expressive and they're whatever, and you're so used to being like, okay. Right? Like, so that it's kind of, to people, it comes off standoffish. Like, oh, so, like, you don't want to engage.
You're
and, like,
stuck up.
Yeah. But it's not that. I think I'm used to having a private life. And it's even worse now that now I'm like, well, it's nothing. What am I sharing? And for who?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what
How
I'm
am I
saying?
going to benefit from?
Right. Yes. So, it's a thin line.
Before, I was bad when it came to people. Like, I would overindulge, like I said. Before, once I met somebody, even if it was like a boyfriend, like, I'm thinking about marriage, I'm thinking about the future, and this and the third. Like, and this is why I'm in a predicament I'm in now. The 2 kids, but I learned my lesson, and now I feel like I'm much more to myself.
That's good. That's a good thing. I don't see anything wrong.
I don't see nothing wrong either.
At all. So, how was your mental health today?
I feel like it's stable. Stable. Like, I know when I'm about to, like, go through something. Like, when I start feeling unmotivated, that's like the first sign of me becoming depressed.
That's crazy.
When I feel like I don't want to go to work today knowing damn well I have bills. I don't want to do this knowing damn well I gotta take care of kids.
That's
and
so
I would
mean. That's so mean.
I would really feel stuck. Like I'm in quicksand. Like, I want to move, I want to do this, I want to do that, but I don't have the urge, the motivation. And then I start thinking like, oh my God, my life is about to fall apart. That is the first sign. So usually I try to prevent myself from becoming depressed.
Yep.
Or I'll like go
because
with
you
family.
can.
Yes, you can.
You can prevent sinking into depression.
Yes.
For sure.
You have to catch the signs. Like, stop. Don't ignore your mental health. Don't ignore how you feel. The first thing I do is I run to my mom and my dad, no matter what. You know. So.
And that's important too, that you have people in your circle, in your life, that if you feel like you get in there, you can call.
Yes.
Like, for me, it's my brother. I know once I feel like, I'll call him like, listen, I'm about to jump out the window. I'm on the edge. My feet is dangling. Like, you have to have those people in your life that, like, you can call to kind of snap you back into reality.
Yes.
And make sure that they talk sense into you. Not somebody that's going to be like, oh, girl, me too.
Yeah.
And I feel I'm depressed too. No. Somebody that's going to talk back that life into you. Listen, snap out of it. Like, you know you good. You know, listen, you're going to be all right. Whatever. That's very important. Because, like, not that long ago, I felt the same way.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't want to do nothing. I'm tired.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to. I could be on the couch all day.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Got things to do.
Yep.
Got things to do. And I'm like, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And then I feel myself now. I'm stressed. Oh,
Yeah.
I have things to do. What's my life?
Yeah, I procrastinated everything.
Yes. And then now I'm back on the couch like.
Just forget it.
Just forget it.
Yeah.
Just forget it. That's crazy though.
That's literally how it creeps up on you.
Yep.
It takes your motivation and your desires to do things that you normally do. You know what I mean?
But you gotta snap out of it too.
Yeah.
You gotta talk to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Get up. What are you even doing? First of all, you can't be sitting on this couch all day. Like you got things to do.
Yeah.
What are you doing? That's what helped me. I be like, stop playing.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Also, praying helps me too. Like before, I wasn't big on praying. I was never big on let me pray every night before I go to bed. Now I pray in random parts of the day when I feel like I need to vent or somebody to speak to. I speak to God. If I feel like I'm going through something, I'll pray to God. When something good happens, I thank God right away and I pray. But I'm not the type to get on my knees and bow down, you know, unless I really have to. But I'm not really a religious person. I'm more so spiritual. So if I feel like I need to, you know, connect to God to make myself feel better, that's what I'll do.
Yeah, then you do. That's good that you said that too, because that helped me a lot through my depression.
Yeah.
Like, I had a really good friend. She took me to church with her. I ended up praying a lot. Like, that helped me a lot to get through my depression when I was going through mine. And even, like, recently, like, so I had this thing where, like, I feel like if I'm not on a smooth sailing kind of thing, I don't want to pray.
Oh.
Because I'm like, oh, well, no, I know I did that. I wasn't supposed to do that. And now I'm going to be praying. So I've always had that thing, like, if I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do, then I won't pray. So anyway, there's a situation, right, that I'm doing. I'm like, damn, I know I'm not supposed to be doing this. I know I'm not supposed to be doing this. But I'm like, so I haven't prayed in a while. Well, before, prior to what I'm saying now. I didn't pray because I was like, no, I look like praying. No, like that.
And I'm doing something
I'm
bad.
sinning.
Yeah, I'm sinning. Right,
yes.
right.
So why am I praying? Whatever. But it's like one day I couldn't help it. I couldn't help it. And I was watching this thing, and I don't know if you know him, Mike Sod, the pastor.
I think my mom watches him.
I love him.
And he's a white man. He looks kind of
No, he's black. Young.
Oh no! Put me on to him, please.
But I was watching him. I love watching him, and he said something like, "Oh, even when you feel like," I swear he was talking to me. He's like, "Even if you feel like you're not on the path you're supposed to be in right now, God loves you, whatever." When I tell you, I broke down and started praying. Yep. And I'm like, I don't even care if I feel like I'm not. Whatever, like it's not gonna stop me from praying. Yeah. So yeah.
Oh wow,
that was crazy.
That was God speaking to you.
I'm telling
like,
you,
like me,
right?
And I'm gonna let you. Yeah, I'm gonna let
whatever
you.
Whatever you're doing, all right, but you still have to come to me anyway. So
regardless.
Yes. So that was the thing for me the other day.
That's deep. That's deep.
When that happened, I was like,
yeah, what is going on?
Right.
God, I'm here again.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Let me pray. But yeah, it's true, and that helped me. Like after that, like I had that spunk, like it was an extra something. So yeah.
You had that boost.
Yep. Yeah. It's like I needed to get it out. Like I needed to pray. I needed to get that cry out. I needed to.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy.
That's very important, right? Wow.
Okay, so with your social life, right, and mental health and mental illness and how that plays a role, we're gonna tap a little bit into dating.
Ooh. This
how does mental health or your mental illness play a role in your dating life?
Now, when I look at guys, it's like I have a whole list. I have standards now. Before I didn't have standards. Before I was just so codependent. I wanted to be loved. I wanted this. I wanted family. Now, please, I want to know if. And it comes from my trust issues too, because I don't want the same things to happen to me. That's why I am the way I am when it comes to dating. I don't want to repeat the same negative patterns. I don't want the same cycle, because a lot of us go through the same things.
Over and over.
Especially,
with different people.
Different people.
Yep.
Because we don't tackle our problems. We don't fix our issues, our trauma. We'll just put a Band-Aid over it or whatever. And then we'll look at somebody and want this person to fix our issues.
Yeah.
That's another thing. I don't want to be in a relationship with somebody where I feel like I have to heal you. Because I had to heal myself. And I have to keep myself above water. So I'm not dating somebody that got all these issues. sorry, I'm a humble person, but sorry to say, I'm not no Dr. Phil. I'm not gonna do it.
We're not doing it.
We're not doing it.
Mm-mm.
No. We're all adults. The same way I was able to get myself up and find help that I need, I feel like my person should be able to do the same thing.
100%. 100%. I gotta agree with you. 100%. Cause, yeah.
And men be looking for mothers, like, not to be like so biased or like, you know, like sexist, but a lot of men have like mommy issues, and those were the men that would gravitate towards me, and I would gravitate towards also, because I'm a healer. I'm very empathic, so I could feel when people are going through things. And it was always the toxic people that I would leech onto, because it's like, oh, you're going through this, let me be with me, let me help you, let me love you, let me show what real love. No. And where did that get me? In the end, hurt, alone, traumatized, trust issues. So now I pause on the dating life. Like, I like to talk to guys, but I'm not ready to take anybody seriously.
100%. You know what's so funny? Oh, this is a little diversion. But anyway, you know what's so funny? Because I have a certain mindset now that I feel like a lot of people are gonna judge me on because of how I think, right?
Right.
Because I'm of a certain age, and I'm supposed to be wanting to settle down, and I'm supposed to be wanting to look for the husband, and I'm supposed to be wanting, and yes, right?
Yeah.
100%. Like, if my husband end up coming in my life one day, and I'm like, you know what, this is my husband, then that's my husband. However, right now, I'm not looking for that.
Yeah. Commitment.
No.
Yeah.
No, and I feel like it's because I kind of been there, done that, relationship after relationship, into another, like, my relationships was back to back.
You need a break. You need time for yourself.
I need a break. I need a break. I need a little space. I want to get to learn other people, meet other people. I might meet somebody today. He probably just a really good friend. I might meet somebody else. Listen, he's very resourceful. I'm gonna keep him in my back pocket.
Yeah.
Like,
yes.
I don't feel like I like you, you like me, be together.
Yeah, me neither. That's how I was. I move way too fast.
I don't know.
Nowadays, it's like you have the person you may go on dates with, you have the person you may do FaceTimes with, you have the person you may have lunch with.
And that's okay.
Like, it's fine.
That's okay. I'm not pressured into doing anything. And I feel like a lot of my peers are like, that's where they're at in their life, right? Because of our age, and some of them don't have kids, so you're looking for the husband and the kids and all that. I feel like they might judge me a little bit because they're like, well, we're at a certain age, like, we're supposed to be da-da-da. No, you're at that point in your life now.
Not me.
I'm not there. I've been there, done that, tried that. No, we're at different stages now. So because I'm like, yeah, this one, that one, you like, oh. I just feel like, please, I'm having fun.
I'm having fun. Exactly, me too. But
I'm having fun.
See, we're 8 years apart also. So your generation has a different mindset when it comes to dating, like settle down and things like that.
Yes.
My age group now is, oh, you got kids? Oh, where's the baby father? Oh, do I really want to deal with? So.
Yeah. Or city girl era.
Yes. Oh no.
Fly me out, buy me this.
Fly me out, because I only date me a rich man this, rich man that. Yes. And that's a problem. That's really a problem. And I feel like that has a lot to do with mental health also, because it comes from daddy issues as well and mommy issues. A lot of men are like, oh, women are gold diggers. Oh, she just want me for my money, for this, for that. And a lot of the times, men don't want to pursue no more because of that. Men don't want to be providers no more because of that.
They're already scared. They're already standoffish. They're already, Yeah.
And it's because of our mindsets. Like, I feel like everybody's battling something, and we're just projecting it on each other. Especially my generation. I think, what is it, Gen Z? And I think you're like millennial. Yeah. So it's completely different. But the dating life for me, it's like a game. I swear to God, it's like a game.
I'm telling you,
it's like a game.
My thing is, made that's not win. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Made it that's no win. Listen, you put in your time, your thing, and I'm putting what I want to put in, and we gonna see.
Yeah, exactly.
We're gonna see. Okay, so last question. What advice would you give to the single moms out there that's dealing with mental health issues?
Remember, it's all about your children. It's about yourself too. But think about it. Think about this. Is anybody going to love your kids the way you love your kids? No. I don't care who it is. Nobody's going to love and take care of your kids the way you do. So it's very important to keep yourself well maintained, keep your mental health stable. Like I said, I don't have the perfect mentality, but it's stable. I know when things are about to go bad and how to pick myself back up because I have children. So if you're a single mom, don't feel like you're not capable. It always gets better. It always gets worse before it gets better. And I feel like when it got worse for me, that's God telling me I need to realize how to be independent. I'm a mom now. I got to do what I got to do. So my advice to you guys is do what you have to do. And if you need the help, always get the help. Reach out for the help. After you have a child, if you feel like you're going through depression, say something, speak. And don't be afraid that, you know, you're going to end up in a psych ward. Because I used to be afraid of that. I was like, yo, if I talk to somebody, if I talk to somebody and tell them how I'm feeling, I don't want to live anymore. You know, when I would have like suicidal thoughts way back then, I would not speak about it because I was so afraid, they're gonna put me in a hospital, I'm not gonna see my children for months, or I might get a case because maybe they probably think I'm not safe around my kids. But no, you speak up about what you're feeling so it could be prevented. That's what I didn't know. So it's important to speak up and say, I'm having these thoughts, but I don't have ideation. Ideation is when you're planning on doing it.
Right.
When you're ready to do it.
Yes. The thoughts and ideation, yes.
Completely different. So if you ever feel like you need the help, say something and speak up. It's going to benefit you and it's going to benefit your children. And another thing, one more thing, my anxiety was so bad that I feel like I passed it on to my child. Because he's only 4, but the way he handled things is the way I handle things. I have a really bad temper. So sometimes I'm like, why is he having a tantrum? Why is he yelling and this and that's what he's seen when I was going through my battles, you know. So it's very important as a mom, period, single mom or not, watch what you do in front of your kids and how you handle yourself, because you know your childhood goes into your adulthood, and a lot of us watch our parents go through mental health issues, you know what I mean?
Just without knowing they were mental health issues. Right.
Thinking that it was the norm. Thinking that, okay, this is how I deal with it. And that's not a way that I want my child to grow up and feel like this is how I solve my problems. So, yeah, that's my best advice to you guys. Just be very self-aware and don't be afraid to get the help that you need, because it will reflect on your children and you'll regret it.
Yep, 100%. 100%. And to piggyback off what you were saying, yes, if things might be bad now, if they're bad, but they will get better. And you have to make sure that you're good and stable enough for your child, because like you said, it's easily passed on to the child. They can see how you behaving in certain situations and mimic it. You might not even be paying attention to the fact that they're paying attention, but eventually you'll start seeing it in their behavior. So that's very important that you make sure and that you're aware of how you're presenting yourself or problem solving in front of your child, because they're sponges. They're going to pick it up, they're going to do it, then you'll notice and be like,
and it'll stick with them.
Or, I remember when that happened, I did the same thing. So you'll see. Another thing is, seek some type of help or have somebody in your life and in your circle who you can turn to. Because being a single mom or a mom, period, you need that outlet. It can't just be you and your kid 24/7. You need that space. You need that girl time or family time, or even if you take some self-care time for yourself, you need that. Because that in itself is going to help tremendously with your mental health. So I suggest that as well. So, yeah.
That was great. Yep.
That was right. Well, Keish, thank you for coming.
Oh,
this was really good. We're going to do another one too, though.
Yes.
We're going to do another one.
But it's a lot coming up.
Yes, we have a lot that we're going to be talking about. And this was good. This was fun.
This was fun and laid back.
We're going to do this again. So, guys, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss when I post another video.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.